I'm Mike Harty. I'm the co-founder and chief product officer at a B2B marketing technology business called Funnel Fuel. We focus on running paid media campaigns and digital activation for B2B marketers and work to solve a lot of large data attribution reporting and targeting challenges at scale for B2B. When I contacted UserActive, I had a challenge of a large amount of data sat across disparate platforms and databases and different views that we were serving to our customers. Predominantly, I had a lot of data around what happened on ad campaigns, so impressions and clicks and ad delivery against kind of companies that were tasked with targeting. And I also separately had a lot of data that happened after an advert was clicked on in terms of how the user gets to the client's website, how they behave on that website, bounce rate, time on site, intent signals, goals, and all kinds of kind of consumption reporting. But I didn't have a clean way of joining together those two data sets and producing a cohesive user journey that could highlight how that data flows and how it kind of works in unison. And the opportunity to kind of deliver that was seen as quite a unique selling point for Funnel Fuel and our offering. Analytics has always been a very large part of where we set our stall out to build our business. And the lack of that consolidated dashboard has been a pain point both for the business internally, for our day-to-day operations teams, our customer success teams and our sales teams to plan, understand, operate kind of what we're doing in the moment, and then to report on campaign feedback at the end of a campaign. And a host of other challenges for the company, really. So yeah, my objective was quite high level to kind of piece this together without necessarily at the time of engagement with UserActive really fully understanding what all of those views and their intricacies would look like. So I think I posed an interesting challenge, a lot of data at quite big scale in different data sets that needed to be cleverly joined up in a cohesive user journey that would present the right level of data, but also enabling us not to always be really oversharing data and confusing our customers. And I really didn't have that fully mapped out before working with Peter and the UserActive team. So I think firstly, UserActive have helped us understand how to go about solving the problem. So you're kind of taking a challenge that where conceptually in the back of my mind, I probably had a few ideas about how this could kind of stitch together, but no truly concrete ideas in terms of exactly kind of how it would flow and look. I just kind of knew that I've got a North Star objective of trying to get to, a really nice looking, marketable, equitable platform that would present this data, but without necessarily kind of understanding all the user journeys and kind of piecing it together. So the workflow that we went through as a business with UserActive involved a number of workshops, which were incredibly valuable because it helped kind of put together a forum where more visual kind of UI people and UX experts could kind of get involved in listening to the challenges, understanding the challenges, and then piecing together the solutions from a dashboarding point of view. And I think from a pure play product point of view, without that access to that resource, we would have struggled to move beyond a few kind of storyboards and functional spec and really kind of get to the kind of vision of the product, really. So I think those kind of workshops was like a massive part of the UserActive solution. And kind of going through that kind of scoping part of the journey with UserActive was a confidence builder for us as a team, working with UserActive and kind of understanding how they operate and some of the key people we'd be engaging with. And that made it a lot smoother to then pivot into, what became a pretty intense kind of 3-month set of kind of sprints and deliverables and actual kind of building process. It's that kind of 2-stage engagement, I think, was a really big part of kind of making this the success that I really feel the design stage of the project has been. We've now got the challenge to kind of build it and enact on kind of what we've worked through, but that, we're very happy with the stage and where we got to and actually kind of how quickly we got to the solution that UserActive were able to present to us. I was very impressed with the core operational team's ability to kind of really get their head around the industry that, Funnel Fuel operates in, this ad tech, martech world full of jargon, acronyms, slang terms, kind of data challenges, kind of expectations of clients, and, to really kind of cut through that and understand our business and work very hard to understand the challenges that our customers, who are a disparate group, are trying to kind of solve and what they're trying to get, I think was kind of a very impressive part of the solution. So I think that kind of ingratiation in kind of what we do was a big part of kind of why I would recommend UserActive, like really kind of ingraining into the business in a very tight way over the kind of duration of engagement. And I think secondly, to my earlier point, the kind of method of engagement, a clearly defined scoping and research phase that sits kind of and has to be completed, even if that goes through kind of 2 or 3 versions of that before we even think about moving into an actual kind of design build engagement phase. So I think those kind of 2 reasons, allied with thirdly, obviously the kind of the most obvious one, I guess, really is kind of, how pleased I am with kind of what the final outcome of that workflow was too. So 1 and 2 would be all well and good. And if the final outcome deliverable was a bit disappointing, then evidently, we wouldn't be sat here today having this conversation really. So those kind of the big 3, the deliverables, the workflows, and the ingratiation with our business and what we're trying to solve. So while we were wrapping up our work on what I see as phase 1 with UserActive, we were basically already kind of beginning to move into kind of discussing what a phase 2 and a phase 3 could look like as our business evolves. I came into this project with UserActive believing that there would be a journey that we would go on, and the size of the kind of dashboard work that we were looking to do and the scope of it would make a single sprint, like the incorrect, in my opinion, way of going about solving this problem, because it would leave too big a tailwind for our engineering team to catch up and deliver the actual project. So we always hoped that there would be a kind of P2, P3 that we'd kind of go into. But yeah, we were happy to start kind of openly talking about that before we'd even fully signed off phase 1. So I think that hopefully validates that I would work with UserActive again. And actually right now we're actively planning what that second phase of engagement could look like, and hoping that we move into that, kind of before the end of 2024.